Hey guys, Carey Hodsden here with Common Sense Golf. Man, I want to tell you something really, really cool today about how your head works in the golf swing. Now, I've done some other lessons where we've talked about how, like Jack Nicklaus, his coach grabbed a hold of his Jack's hair as he was swinging, and Jack had to keep his head perfectly still. Okay, now for most of us, that doesn't really work because we don't have anybody to hold our hair, and we would probably be in trouble these days for child abuse if we did that. So we're not going to do that. But what I want you to feel in this is I want you to kind of learn how to feel your head falling backwards as you swing forward. Okay. Now, some people as they teach, they want your head to be back here, and as they go forward, they try to keep your head back here through the golf swing. Okay. Now, once again, I don't like that as much because my body is now getting out in front. This part of my body is leaving the support structure and kind of diminishing the support structure for my upper body, which has to stay back with my head. Okay, that causes all kinds of issues and it inhibits your swing in so many different ways, from your hip flexors to your knees to your ankles to your lower back. I mean, it inhibits you. Okay, don't want to inhibit you. I want your support structure, the weight underneath your upper body, to remain the support structure and to remain solid so that you can swing over top of it without losing your balance. Okay, and without creating error. I need you to hit it in the center of the face of the club, and the only way to really do that is to keep everything centered together, okay, if you want to do it consistently. Now, there are guys, that are super, super limber, that get away with it on tour, but they're hitting a lot of balls every single day. They're not like you and I. We don't necessarily have all the time in the world to do all this and to spend 4 hours a day in the gym to strengthen these areas that they feel like they need to strengthen to be able to hold those angles. I don't want you to worry about that. I don't think you need to worry about that. I think if you use your lower half of your body to support your upper half of your body through the golf swing, you got a lot better shot at hitting it consistently. Okay? All right. So how does our head work? Our head feels like it falls backwards as we move forwards. Now, how do we set our head before we start the swing? You'll note that if you watch Jack Nicklaus Golf My Way, a tape, or read his book, he felt like his head needed to stay in one place. How he did it was because he knows that when your head is in the center, that if you turn your shoulders, eventually your chin and your face are going to get in the way of that shoulder turn. Okay, so what Hogan did, and what Nicklaus did, and what Mickey Wright did, and what a lot of Bobby Jones, a lot of the great swingers, what they did is they addressed. Then they moved the attitude of their chin over top of their right toe. Okay, so they moved their chin over here so that when they turned, their chin never got in the way of their shoulder turn. Okay. Also, what happens, which is not good, when you keep your head in the center and you don't move the attitude of your chin over your right toe, is that when you go back, you can, once your chin touches your shoulder, which is a way that a lot of people always taught, hey, when your shoulder gets to your chin here, that's the time to go forward with your golf swing. Okay. But what ends up happening is people go, their shoulder touches the chin, and then they start to move forward, and their chin connects. Okay, it's a natural thing that humans do. Okay, and we get over here, and I don't know if it's because we're trying to protect our neck or why we do that, but I swear, 99.9% of the lessons that I teach or that I've taught over my 35-year career do this exact same thing. Once their chin touches their shoulder, then they move forward, and their chin goes forward with it, which then, of course, changes the center of their swing from here to over here because their head moves so much forward. Shankola, blades, chunks, all kinds of stuff, because you're going to do crazy stuff with your hands because you're in front of it. Okay, but what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to keep our chin and our entire head behind the golf ball. Why? Why do we want to do that? Because we're trying to hit the back of the golf ball. We're not trying to hit the front of the golf ball. Okay, we're not trying to hit the outside of the golf ball or the inside of the golf ball. We're trying to hit the back of the golf ball. I want to see the back of the golf ball. I want to see the paddle, this hammer on the end of my 3-foot stick. I want to see that paddle hit that golf ball. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up, in a normal stance. I'm going to take my club, I'm going to turn my chin to where the attitude is over my right toe. Then I'm going to take my club back, okay? And then from here, I'm going to feel like as I move to the left, I recenter my weight, and then I start to screw myself into the ground by sitting and turning. I'm going to feel like my head moves towards my right shoulder. Okay? This allows you to get into a position to release from here, because that's all it is. That's all that's left is just this little release right here. The hitting of the golf ball, the compression of the golf ball, okay? By allowing this to happen in this way, allowing my head to move back, that is, what it's doing is it's creating even more whip, okay, with my body turning through the golf ball. It's creating even more whip than I had. If I go this way, I'm creating less whip. Why? Because my club is still behind my head. It's not getting out in front of my head. My hands are still behind my head. I'm losing power here. But if I get this way, right, and I turn my head here, now I'm throwing this thing out in front of me, and I'm watching the back of the golf ball be hit while my head is back here. I'm seeing the ball take off from this position. And not because I'm reverse seeing, but because I've turned my body and I'm still behind the golf ball and I can see it from here, right? Here we go. Here, here. I'm behind it. So I feel like I'm falling backwards, if anything, and that's transferring energy to my arms and to the club head. Okay? Hard to believe. True statement. Absolutely true statement. You will be blown away. And the consistency of your strikes will get better almost immediately once you learn how to do this. And it's not difficult. Okay? It's just a matter of learning how your lower body works. And then how your head works in unison with that. And how your upper body works in unison with that. And how your arms and your hands work in unison with that. Okay? It's an entire program here. All right? So once again, we're setting up. Chest is out, back is straight. We're nicely into our knees, especially into our right knee. I turn over top of that right knee and get it back, right? First of all, let me back that up one step. We're going to get here. I'm going to turn my chin to where the attitude is over my right toe, okay? Then I'm going to push this thing back, okay? And then as I get back here to set my wrists, I'm recentering and then coming around and rotating while my head feels like it falls back. Okay, so here's my chin. I'm turning it over here. We go. And then we feel like our head stays behind the golf ball. Easy peasy, right? This is good stuff, guys. Grab hold of this and use it. Use it. Feel like your head falls back as you're screwing yourself into the ground. You will be amazed at how simple everything starts to feel. Quick lesson. Thanks for watching. I'm Carey Hodsden PGA with Common Sense Golf, and I will definitely see you in very short order.